Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Don't like weave.
But we love to wear weave, honey.
Yes, and y'all wear weave for each other. Y'all don't wear weave for us. I guarantee you probably if it's 5 guys, 3 to 4 of us don't like weave.
Scratch him for blood clot life.
The wig was just hurting my hairline and I took it off, y'all, and it's just so many bumps. Like,
we must address this wig and weave epidemic.
You know who I hope is rotting in jail, like severely rotting? Whoever it was that told black women that owning a wig was not stressful, that having a wig is just gonna make your life so easy and so convenient. Why is my wig getting a makeover? Like, why?
It's become an addiction.
A lot of us are afraid to admit it, but I'm gonna be the first to say it. If we do not like wearing lace wigs, and if men don't like even seeing these lace wigs, then why do we put ourselves through the torture of wearing them? This is what happens when a generation of women are not the standard of beauty. Black women have continuously forced and bent and molded themselves to fit through a hole that was just not built for them, entering lace wigs and frontals. And it's causing a lot more damage than you think. The crazy part is the men don't even care for it and we are uncomfortable wearing it. So why, I ask, do we continue to torture ourselves with these lace frontals?
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And if you are someone who is starting your natural hair journey, of course, definitely check out Mineral Naturals, which is the ultimate hair growth experience, loved by over 20,000 scalps. It is a non-toxic hair care line formulated specifically for the kinky, curly, coily afro hair, formulated by black women for black women. So go ahead and give us and show us some love. We would love to welcome you. You know, a lot of us may laugh, but truthfully, this is what a lot of people go through when they're wearing specifically lace wigs and frontals, especially if you're not going to a professional who knows how to install them safely. But even still, I think for me personally, and I know you guys might drag me, but the concept of gluing someone else's hair onto my head is a concept that I don't think will ever sit right with me. And I'm not saying this to shame people who do that or feel like they have to do that. It's just something that I've just done so much work that I don't feel the need to. So it makes me feel like those who feel like they have to do it otherwise they don't feel beautiful, it's truly worrying for me because, and I know some people will say that some people, they have issues with alopecia or all those kinds of stuff. Great. But I think the large majority of people who do wear the frontals, which require these extremely toxic glues, most likely have a decent head of hair, and it's just a case of them learning how to style it so that they can feel beautiful. But then again, because black women haven't been the standard of beauty, we're forced to adopt styles that aren't great for our skin, for our hair, because this does not look comfortable at all. I know people say natural hair is hard, but I think truly wearing wigs and gluing them and making them blend to suit your natural hair is something that I think is really harder. The easy work actually is to just accept your hair. This is a lot of maintenance and a lot of hard work, because to have to undo all of that, I've seen people, which we'll probably go and see, who have literal scars that have formed from the excessive use of lace wigs. And this again is not to shame women who wear lace wigs. Do whatever you want with your hair. It's not my hair, it's your head. I just don't care. I'm just sharing my opinion on it because I think it's important in this kind of generation to have people who represent not just natural beauty, but to just have an acceptance of your God-given hair, because it still is beautiful. And I think people are to push and feel forced to wear wigs because of what society has said is beautiful. But in actual fact, God said you are fearfully and wonderfully made and you are his masterpiece. Therefore, you don't need to alter and glue and stick and fill and do all these crazy things that people do to make yourself feel beautiful. It is a lie from the pit of hell. And I really hope that she doesn't wear wigs again, because that's quite alarming to have these bumps form, which I'm assuming is from irritation from the glue and just the rubbing of the lace and the glue on your scalp. And depending if someone is washing it regularly and maintaining it, then this is obviously inevitable, which is a huge shame. And the fact that we have to go through this just to be deemed as beautiful is an even greater shame, I think. Again, guys, it is so much harder to be a lace frontal, a lace wig girly than a natural hair girly. I am changing the narrative because there's no way on earth that you're telling me that this is easy. This looks uncomfortable at the very least. And I'm just imagining the itch that you have to scratch your head when you have all of that glue going on, and then you're having to scratch, you're kind of wanting to itch your head, but you can't because you don't want to mess up your lace. This is diabolical to me. But I'm glad she's at least making the change because this is too much. Why do we have to go through all of this just to feel beautiful, just to feel wanted? And I'm going to also go into this a little bit later, and you're going to see the other TikToks that I'm going to show, because I do ask the question, why do we do this to ourselves? Because we can say that we've never been the standard of beauty, therefore we feel forced to wear wigs. But if, for example, you're trying to attract men, I'm just speaking very generally. I know people may say, oh, I don't live to attract men. And the large portion of us who are watching probably do want to find a spouse, be in a relationship, cool. So part of that journey is being somewhat relatively attractive to the opposite sex. We can say that. So with that being said, if men are not even for this, then who do we do it for? Why do we do and put ourselves through this kind of torture? Because this, again, natural hair will always be easier than wearing lace wigs. I'm so sorry. Hear it first. Hear it here first. Natural hair will always be easier than wearing lace wigs and frontals, because that seems like a lot of maintenance. So honestly, hands off to you guys who can actually pull this off and look good, because this is a lot of work.
Have anybody had this happen? This is like my first time this ever happening, but the wig was just hurting my hairline, and I took it off, y'all, and it's just so many bumps, like they're like starting to bleed. And literally, like, I don't know if it was the cap, because I originally had a cap on and over the wigs. I thought maybe it was just the adhesive, too much glue. But y'all, I have never had this happen. I don't know if it's the lace, if I'm allergic to lace, where the hair came from, or the glue. But I use the glue all the time, so I never had this happen. But y'all, this is easy, and it don't hurt like how they was hurting over the week. But this is just too many, and they're like filled with like the blood or pus, and I just need them like to be gone. And if you have this happen to you, how did you get these bumps gone? Because this is as hell.
This is crazy. And the comments, honestly, are even telling, because this is happening to multiple people, but people just aren't really speaking about it. So someone says, this is happening to me right now, but instead of the bumps, it's changing my skin tone, bleaching me. I don't know what to do. This is me now, never wearing a wig again, and they hurt. This literally happened right now. I took my wig off. Which lace glue did you use? I just took my wig off and I'm so confused. She said she used epidemic glue. I think we may have to also look into the ingredients of this glue, because what is going on in the House of Commons? This is what happens when black women are not the standard of beauty. So they have to chase what is beautiful, what is in. And when that's not you, the price is very costly. And it could mean your edges, it could mean your whole forehead, and it could mean reacting to crazy toxic glues that shouldn't be kept in your bathroom. Because what are we doing? What are we trying to chase, and who are we doing this for? Another lady says, you're definitely allergic to the glue. This happened to me the first time, and once it healed, I used a different glue. I used a bad glue and it got so much worse. I had to get prescribed meds for it. Someone said I'm going through the same thing, and someone in my comments said to use Vaseline. Oh goodness, this is crazy. The fact that black women have to go through these rituals of torture just to feel beautiful is mind-blowing to me. And this is why the work we do here is so important. We have to change the standard of beauty and what is seemed as beautiful. And people may think this video is to slight people who wear wigs and all that stuff, but it's not. It's truly to change the narrative, to get you to think differently, that you don't have to wear the wigs. You can wear your natural God-given hair and feel beautiful. But it just takes you to take that step to decide for yourself that, you know what, I don't have to do this. No one is paying me to wear this wig. Let me actually accept my hair for what it is and be comfortable in it. Because again, these lace wigs, a lot of people have this cycle of wanting to wear wigs, and they have the thickness and the lusciousness and the way that it moves and it bounces, and then they get to see their natural hair and they're just like, it doesn't do what a wig does. But that's normal. Your hair was never supposed to do what a wig does. It's your hair. It's not a wig. It's not a bone straight. That's not how God made our hair. So why on earth do we think that our hair is going to be as thick and as luscious as a wig and move the way it's supposed to move? Anyway, I will always stand on this hill and say that being a lace front girly is 10 times harder than being a natural hair girly, because we sure as heck do not go through all of this just to feel beautiful. And it's really sad, honestly. I'm saying this from a point of, I just pray that my future children and daughter do not have to go through this level of, how can I put this without making people feel uncomfortable? Don't have to go through this level of uncertainty of identity and what beauty truly is. And I hope that they get to define beauty for themselves and not what society deems as beautiful, because the real work, I think, comes from childhood and rearing children to understand that their hair is beautiful. It's wonderful. And that only happens is if you as a parent encourage that behavior. Because when I was a child, hair was definitely not called beautiful. So it's taken a lot of work, but we got there in the end. So there is hope, because if I can do it, I'm sure you can.
Hey, my angels, it's your girl, Jaleesa Nicole, your natural hair care specialist. And there's something that I want to address. We must address this wig and weave epidemic that we have going on within our community. It's become an addiction. It's become a problem. It's become a problem in the youth as well. I've had 3 or 4 girls, like ranging from the ages of 12, preteen 12 to 17, tell me, if I don't have a bust down on, I don't feel pretty. That's a problem. It's time to snip this in the bud. This is a problem. I will be elaborating on this more. But to start the conversation, the wig addiction and the I have to have a wig on, I don't care how my edges look. Y'all don't even care if y'all got no edges. As long as y'all got a wig to lay on it. That's becoming a problem. It has to be talked about. We have to come up with a solution. And the solution isn't more wigs, and it's not a relaxer. We have to learn how to take care of ourselves and take care of our natural hair.
She honestly put it so perfectly. The fact that young girls are feeling like they cannot show up in the world without a wig, that is a problem. And that is telling you that society has created an idea of beauty that is so far removed from what Black women originally look like, that we have to force ourselves through a hole that is so small, and we will never fit it unless we break bones or adjust everything that you can't even recognize yourself anymore. And it's so deep. And a lot of people may think, oh, it's just a big deal. No, it's a big deal, because it's a level of self-identity. If you cannot look in the mirror and be comfortable with what it is, then that says a lot about your self-worth and your self-identity. I think the two go very hand in hand. And this is why I will continue on this mission to make afros great again, because they are great and we need to acknowledge that. Wigs are cool. I'll probably never wear one. Well, I won't say never, but I won't ever wear a lace glue, like the ones you have to literally glue to your forehead at the expense of your whole hairline and forehead. That will not be me. And I don't think it should be anyone. I think it's quite ridiculous that we have to go through this just to feel beautiful. The steps of a wig routine are 10 times more than a natural hair routine. And y'all will always complain about, oh, natural hair being so hard. Wigs are hard. They're harder. And I think it's becoming an addiction, quite literally, as she said. We can't leave the house without this wig glued to our head. Why? We need to really address that. We need to do the work. And we can't just fault society for having this standard of beauty. Yes, they can put a standard of beauty, but it's up to us to decide whether we believe it or not. I decided a long time that I do not care. I love my hair. And it was a journey, which I'm still very much on, but I just made that decision that I don't need wigs to make me feel beautiful. God made me and he didn't make any mistakes. It's literally a lie from the pit of hell that you have to wear a lace wig to feel beautiful. So if this is the first time anyone has ever told you, then please do understand that you are wonderfully and fearfully made, and God made no mistakes.
You know who I hope is rotting in jail, like severely rotting? Whoever it was that told Black women that owning a wig was not stressful, that having a wig is just gonna make your life so easy and so convenient. Why is my wig getting a makeover? Like, why am I rubbing foundation on my wig? Low maintenance. Every time. Laying, got to be dryer, spray, ebbing, glue, contour remover, oil remover for the glue. Like, tired. And guess what? Oh, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. We then have to give all these expensive expensive stylists. They're doing like frontal picture, like full-time slavery. I'm just tired.
I love this so much because it further proves my point that wig life is just not, if not harder than natural hair life. Because even if you're a natural hair girly, you don't have to be putting on concealer or whatever it is to the lace and then plucking it and then having to glue it to your head. I won't lie, there is one instance where I genuinely tried a lace wig and everyone laughed at me because they were just like, Janet, what are you doing? You have hair. There's no reason for you to wear this. But I wish the same way people laughed at me, that people would laugh at other people so that they could snap out of thinking that they have to do this, because this is a lot of work. There's a lot of maintenance. And again, it's about the mindset. Society has this standard of beauty that lace wigs are everything. And if you don't have a straight 22-inch bust down, then you ain't nothing. So then you go through all of the loopholes to make sure that it lays flat. Even if it's harder than looking after your natural hair, stay with me. Even if lace wigs are harder than looking after your natural hair, society has painted this picture that it's the standard of beauty. Therefore, by all means necessary, we are just going to do whatever it takes to fit this societal standard. So now we've been told a lie that natural hair is so difficult and it's so hard. But in reality, it's not. It's a different rhythm, yes. We may have to do a 2-hour wash day, but you only do it every 2 weeks. So that 2 hours spread over 2 weeks is not a big deal. So we need to snap out of it. Snap out, snap out, snap out of it. Natural hair is not hard. Wigs are harder. And I can put money on that. Money. Money, money, money. Should we do an experiment? I think we need to do one just to prove my point. And I might have to get a lace wig just to prove to you guys that natural hair life is actually easier than wig life. You heard it here first.
This is why my wigs don't last, guys. Let me tell you something. I was scratching up my head. Scratching for blood clot life. Guys, sorry, this wig has to come off quickly. Hey, boo. My head was itchy, you know. Me have to wash my blood clot hair because me tired. Right, that's all.
If this is not your call to join the natural hair club, then please, because at least if you have natural hair, you can scratch your head. You can scratch your scalp very easily. But this is crazy to me. Again, natural hair will always be easier than wigs because it's your hair and you can do whatever you want with it. But with a wig, you're stuck in that position. And for you to keep up with the Joneses of wigs, then you have to wear it, and it's just the itching and the sweat and all that kind of stuff, and not being able to wash your head properly. I cannot.
Black women, you're doing this all wrong, and you need to change it as soon as you can. When you are wearing the extensions, the weave, the wigs, remember, acceptance does not mean preference. Acceptance does not mean preference. Black men, or men in general, prefer women without fake hair. We prefer women with their natural hair. Every single man that you speak to will say, I want a woman with their natural hair. But will they accept you? Of course they will. Of course they will. Okay? Women aren't the only ones that will accept men with that aren't physically attractive. Okay? Men all the time accept women who are ugly or who have fake hair or, you know, who don't meet their physical standards. Men do the same thing. Okay? But in reference to hair, men do not prefer fake hair. They will accept it if many of the other things fall in line. So, if you want to serve your man, the man that you are dealing with, consider changing out your fake hair with real, and let your real hair flourish. If you didn't know, now you know.
So now you know. And you've heard, obviously, I'm not a man. I will never be a man, right? But if the men are saying that we do not care for the fake hair and the wigs, and y'all are complaining that the wigs are so hard, so why do we do this to ourselves, guys? Why do we have to force ourselves to this? We can't keep blaming society for having a standard. Do we have a standard of beauty? Are we sticking to our own standards? Must you bend to everything that society says? If society says everyone who's black has to jump off a building, are we going to do that? No, because we have sense. So can we use more of our sense, guys, to consider if it's actually necessary to put ourselves through the torture of wearing lace wigs that are stuck to our forehead? Let that sink in before you fight me in the comments. I said what I said. And if you have a problem with me speaking about lace wigs, take it out with God, because I'm talking some sense. I'm making a lot of sense, and that's why you're still watching. So please do not be offended. Take it as a sense of a big sister telling you that I want you to love yourself, and I'm going to hold your hand on this journey. We're going to do this together. Join the inner circle, continue to watch these videos and subscribe, because we are going to be on a journey of self-love. I understand that society has beaten us to a pulp and told us all these lies that lace wigs are beautiful, but the men are saying they don't even like them. So why are we wearing them? Especially if we don't even like it ourselves. We can say that we're doing it for other women, but guys, can we stop? Who are we fooling? We know we're not doing it for other women, guys. That we know, because how will you look in your house without your wig and your bonnet on? That's who you are in and of itself. And I highly doubt you would go ahead and get yourself ready with your lace front and everything in your house just to sit there and watch TV. No. So if we do that, this is a conversation for another day. I'm going to table it here because I know y'all are probably about to fight me. So let's move on swiftly.
I said that I don't like weave.
But we love to wear weave, honey.
Yes, and y'all wear weave for each other. Y'all don't wear weave for us. I guarantee you probably if it's 5 guys, 3 to 4 of us don't like weave. But we'll take it though because that's what y'all do. But we don't prefer that stuff. Y'all wear that to be in competition with each other.
Well, damn. Again, another guy just letting you know that they don't care for the wigs and the weaves. They prefer your natural hair. So if this is not your sign to go on a journey to love your hair, then I don't know what is. I am your big sis Janet, and I'm just letting you know that you don't have to force yourself to bond hair that doesn't belong to you to your head to feel beautiful. It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. So this is your opportunity to stop that. But no, guys, truthfully, who are we doing this for? I think it's really important to ask these big questions, because if we don't, we just continue in this cycle of having to torture ourselves with wearing these wigs that we don't even like wearing just to please this figurative society that who even cares? Who even gives a damn? And if you are someone who is starting your natural hair journey, of course, definitely check out Mineral Naturals, which is the ultimate hair growth experience, loved by over 20,000 scalps. It is a non-toxic hair care line formulated specifically for the kinky, curly, coily afro hair, formulated by Black women for Black women. So go ahead and give us and show us some love. We would love to welcome you. But of course, we don't just offer products, we actually teach you how to use them, because I know with natural hair, it is a learning curve, and that's what we pride ourselves in giving you the resources on how to learn to love your hair and to look after it, because you look after what you love, and what you hate, you manipulate, or you just stick it on your forehead. Anywho, guys, I've been Janet. You guys have been amazing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.